We want to go to Mars for the spirit of exploration, to create a backup location for humanity, possibly to search for additional resources, or maybe just because it's hard. Elon Musk stated that the goal of SpaceX is to help humans get to Mars. They're designing rockets, landers, and equipment to support that. Musk would like to build a Mars colony with 80,000 people, which is a good choice as it's probably the second most habitable place in our solar system. Real estate should be pretty cheap, but the commute is a bit much. Mars is beautiful. It looks like a nice desert planet with winds, clouds, and ancient riverbeds. It's great if you're not made of meat and don't need to breathe oxygen. Otherwise, it's incredibly hostile. It's not much more habitable than the cold vacuum of space. First, there's no air on Mars. If you were dropped on the surface of Mars, the view would be spectacular, and then you'd quickly pass out and expire a couple of minutes later from a lack of oxygen. There's almost no air pressure, and the temperatures are incredibly cold. Did I mention the constant radiation streaming from space? You might also want to note that the soil is toxic. There's a long list of these types of problems. The days are a little longer. You'll be sleepy. If we intend to live on Mars and stay there permanently, we'll be leaning hard on our technology to keep us alive, never mind comfortable. In order to survive the lack of air pressure and the cold, humans will need pressurized and heated habitats. Fortunately, there's a little local support as Mars does provide us with some raw materials. The regolith, the material which covers the surface, could be used to make concrete. And there are cave systems which could be converted into underground habitats to protect citizens from the radiation. Martians, the terrestrial kind, will need a spacesuit whenever they go outside. And every hour they spend adds to their radiation exposure and grants all the complications that exposure brings. For the long term, we'll need to figure out how to extract water from underground supplies and use that to generate breathable air and rocket fuel. And once we've reduced the risk of suffocation or dying of dehydration, we'll need to consider food sources, as we'll be outside the delivery area of everyone except Planet Express. Care packages could be shipped up from Earth, but that's going to come at a hefty price tag. We'll need to produce our own food. Interestingly, although toxic, Martian soil can be used to grow plants once you supplement it and remove some of the harsher chemicals. NASA's extensive experience in hydroponics will help, and one of the biggest problems will be access to spare parts and medical supplies. You can't just go down to the store when you're on Mars if your kidney gives out or your sonic screwdriver breaks. There will need to be a constant stream of supplies coming from Earth until the Martian economy is built up enough to support itself. One more big unknown is what the low gravity will do to the human body over months and years. Will it shorten our lifespan or lengthen it? We just don't know. To thrive on Mars, the brave adventurers may want to change themselves, or possibly their offspring. This could lead to genetic engineering to help future generations adapt to the low gravity, higher radiation, and lower air pressure. Why stop at humans? We'll adapt our plants and animals to live there as well. Finally, to take things to the next level, we can make a few planetary renovations. We'll change Mars itself through the process of terraforming. We'll need to release mountains of greenhouse gases to warm the planet, unleashing the frozen water reserves. Perhaps we'll crash a few hundred comets into the planet to deliver water and other chemicals. It might take thousands or even millions of years, but it could be possible to restore Mars to a place we could live on even without a spacesuit. So what do you think? Would you be part of the Mars terraforming expedition? Tell us in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Never miss an episode by clicking subscribe. The Guide to Space is made possible by members of our Patreon community. We'd like to thank Brian Odom and the many others who contribute to help us bring great space and astronomy content every month. If you'd like to join our community and get advanced access to episodes, as well as extra and behind-the-scenes content, click here and check out our page on Patreon. We want to go to Mars for the spirit of exploration, to create a backup location for humanity, possibly to search for additional... Start again.